How's it going, everybody? This is Anthony Miranda with the Firearms Policy Coalition. Today I want to bring to your attention 3 new gun control bills that have been introduced into Congress in a single day. This comes shortly after Joe Biden called on Congress to institute common sense gun control laws just weeks ago. It is clear that Democrats are opening the floodgates on gun control legislation through their actions today. The first bill we need to talk about is H.R. 8, sponsored by Representative Mike Thompson out of California. H.R. 8 is known as the Bipartisan Background Checks Act of 2021 and was previously submitted through the last session of Congress. For those of you who weren't keeping track, the prior iteration of this bill passed the House just last year with 240 votes in favor of it and 180 against. Of those 240 votes in favor of the bill were 8 Republican votes. The newest iteration of this bill already has 7 co-sponsors, 3 of which are Republicans. This bill would make it illegal for a person to transfer a firearm to someone else without going through a licensed dealer and having a background check run. Private party transfers would become a thing of the past if this bill were to become law. You would be no longer able to sell your personal property without the government first sticking their nose into your business. This bill carves out various exceptions to its application, likely to try to make some people think, well, it's not that bad. First, of course, Congress exempts law enforcement agencies and officers while in the course of their duties, and it also exempts certain familial transfers, like from parents to children, step-parents to stepchildren, grandparents to grandchildren, sibling to sibling, and even from uncles and aunts to nieces and nephews. Make no mistake, this is the universal background check that Democrats have been salivating over for years. By requiring a background check for all firearms transactions, Democrats will have set the framework needed for creating a federal registry down the road. Again, we know that a federal registry has been high on the anti-gun agenda for a very long time as well. If H.R. 8 wasn't enough, Senator Chris Murphy out of Connecticut proposed an identical bill titled the Background Check Expansion Act in the Senate. His effort is already supported by 45 other senators. Finally, H.R. 1446, also known as the Enhanced Background Checks Act of 2021, has been reintroduced by Representative James Clyburn out of South Carolina. This bill was previously introduced in the last session of Congress as H.R. 1112, which passed the House just last year with a vote of 228 individuals in favor of it and 198 against. In that, 3 Republicans voted in favor of passing the bill and 3 abstained. The purported goal of this bill is to close the alleged Charleston loophole. It does this by giving the FBI 10 business days to respond to gun shops on whether or not a purchaser is prohibited or not. If the FBI fails to respond within the 10 business days, then the purchaser must petition the FBI through an Attorney General prescribed form. At this point, the FBI will then have an additional 10 business days to respond to that petition. This process will add on additional arbitrary time for government officials to simply not do their job. This bill already has 60 co-sponsors and will likely gain more traction if we do not take action now. You might think to yourself, well, this is gonna take a while, they're gonna die out because the process takes forever. That's a nice thought, but if history is any indication, the exact opposite will be true. Not only are these bills gaining support from Democrats and even Republicans, but on top of all that, reports are that these bills could be moved on a full vote sometime next week. That's right, Democrats are prepared to move these anti-gun bills through at a lightning speed, shortening a process that normally takes months into just a few days or even perhaps hours. We've never seen politicians move this fast, but when it comes to infringing on your Second Amendment rights, I guess that's when they decide to kick it into overdrive. Therefore, it's critical that you take action now. These bills are the first, but definitely will not be the last attempts to cram through anti-gun legislation. So if you oppose these bills, head on over to fightgunbills.com and let your elected officials know. While you're at it, head on over to joinfpc.org. Rest assured knowing that your donations will go directly to us fighting these types of 2A infringements tooth and nail. Once again, this is Anthony Miranda with Firearms Policy Coalition. I'll see you guys next time.